What's happening,
Happy
everybody?
Friday, fam. Happy Friday to you. So, listen, we normally don't come in on Fridays,
Hardly ever, never.
but we were like, we got something to share with you. So, we coming in on this Friday and hope y'all are doing amazing today. He got his big old cup of coffee.
Yes,
It's pretty
the,
much
the cup
gone.
is bigger than the.
Than the
I'll
coffee
pull him
inside.
in.
Yeah. So, if you can see the title of this quick live here, we're talking about something that we have never really gone in this way. Don't really
Mhm.
do this on a regular basis,
Nope.
but we realize that this can be super helpful for many marriedpreneurs. It says funding for investors, specifically for those who are in real estate or desire to be or are growing in real estate, all those things.
That's
So,
right. So, in case you don't know who we are, I'm Ola Buckley.
and I'm Sway
That's
Buckley.
right. We are Marriedpreneur Life strategists as well as co-hosts of Marriedpreneur Life, the podcast.
Yes. So we help, in short, married entrepreneurs to launch, grow, and scale their businesses, and to do that so purposefully, powerfully, and profitably in sync, regardless of what their marriedpreneur type is. We understand that there are three primary types, and this doesn't matter at all for what we have to share, especially for today. There are the indiepreneurs, where both spouses are building individual businesses, and then you have the spousalpreneurs, where one spouse is building the business, the other spouse is supporting or helping that spouse. And then you have the couplepreneurs, where both couples are working together in the same business. So indie, spousal, or couplepreneurs are the three primary marriedpreneur types. What?
That's
Really?
right. That's
Wow.
right. That's right.
Wow. Did y'all hear that?
So,
So, but that being said, regardless of your marriedpreneur type, we're glad that you're here, especially if you're a couple who is investing in real estate or desiring to grow in that and understanding with funding, because this is a sweet spot. We don't talk about a lot, really, this part of our lives behind the scene, but we are investors when it comes to real estate. And even more so than that, the hubby here, his background and one of his businesses is really into that. We're on the commercial side.
that's right.
Mm.
So, I am a 10-year banking, working with wealth management veteran, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Veteran, that
he's a
sounds
veteran.
like somebody so old. But anyway, veteran, I guess you could say. And listen, I have closed volumes upwards of $80 million, have received multiple awards with the banks that I've worked for. Additionally, co-owning a real estate company, helping homeowners to buy like investors in the first place, as well as have my commercial real estate consultancy. So yeah, that's who I am. That's what I do. You want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say this because you primarily work for your consultancy with he works with pretty large organizations.
Mhm.
And the same principles, we were talking about this over breakfast yesterday, the same principles that he shares or helps them with can actually be used by marriedpreneurs, because marriedpreneurs are companies, corporations as well. But if you don't know about it, then how you going to do something about it? So if you're seeking to have some type of funding, or funding is like your roadblock, it's a big hurdle for you when you all are like, okay, well, what do we do and how do we do this if we don't have the funds in hand to invest in a property, what for, whatever, if it's for a flip or for Airbnb, whatever it may be. It's important to have this resource that we're going to share with you today, because this is the same thing that the companies that he works and helps and consults with, they use. So why not everybody else, right?
Right.
The big difference, I would say, is the lack of knowledge and lack of understanding that what's available to you. So here we
Absolutely.
are, so he can give some insight into that. I'm excited because it's good stuff, y'all.
So the first time I got a flat tire when I was driving, when I got my license early on at 16, first time I got a flat tire, I sort of clammed up. I was like, oh, flat tire, side of the highway, what do I do? And I had a friend in the car with me, one of my buddies in the car with me, and I was like, man, let's see if there's a jack in the trunk. A jack, like a car jack, a thing that helps you change a flat tire.
Right.
So we go into the trunk, and yes, there was a jack in the trunk. So my friend says to me, do you know how to use it? And I said, kind of, sort of. I do, because I had seen it done a few times before, but never actually did it myself. So the reality is, I did intellectually know how to use a jack, but I did not experientially know how to use a car jack. So here we are on the side of the highway. We get the car jack. Like, all right, we got to make sure we put it in the right place. So we're using this car jack. Now, the average car is like 2,000 pounds, right? That's a ton, right? So the average car is like 2,000 pounds. But this jack that is like this big is going to help us lift 2,000 pounds so we can take off the flat tire and put the donut on. Y'all know what a donut is? That little tiny
we know
wheel.
what the donut is.
So put the donut on. So I'm changing this flat tire. We're using this jack. And it's amazing to me how this jack is giving us leverage. Now, I can't lift 2,000 pounds. My friend couldn't lift 2,000 pounds. Together, we could not lift 2,000 pounds.
Right.
But one person with the knowledge of how to use a jack could lift 2,000 pounds. Now, zoom out for a second.
Okay.
That's the principle that really savvy real estate investors think about when they approach the world of investing. In other words, how can I use other people's money to accomplish what it is I want to accomplish? Because I may not have it to do it myself, but somebody else has it, so I can do it, right? So really, using other people's money is actually leveraging other people's money. Leverage, giving you the ability to do something you couldn't do on your own. So savvy real estate investors really approach the real estate world of investing by looking at opportunities. Where is there an opportunity for me to invest in real estate? And I was working at one point for a gentleman who was, by all intents and purposes, the most savvy real estate investor that I had ever personally known. In fact, he taught me a lot, about real estate investing.
Yes.
And so they looked at opportunity. Thank you for dropping that in there.
Opportunities. Drop it. Look.
So opportunity is one thing.
Yeah.
But we got to have the leverage. We got to use other people's means and money in order to follow through that opportunity. So here's the 3 E's. Letter E. 3 E's.
To make it easy.
To make it easy to invest in real estate, right? So the first thing that real estate investors think about when they approach an opportunity, the first thing they do is they explore the opportunity. They explore the opportunity. And when you explore the opportunity, anytime you're exploring, do you really know what you're looking for? Not necessarily. But you're exploring it to figure out what to be looking for specifically. Right. So you just go in and you're just exploring. It's like you go into a store for the first time and they sell stuff that you've never. I remember the first time I went into like a camping store, like a REI or something like that.
Yeah.
And I had never gone camping. I didn't grow up camping. I didn't do any of that. First thing I did was like, let's just go in here and look around. And the person is asking, is there something specific that you're looking for? No, because I don't know what I should be looking for specifically. Right. I'm just exploring, right? So savvy real estate investors, they explore opportunities and they're looking. Where's the opportunity? What kinds of opportunities are there out there? And so they're exploring what is it going to take for me to move on this opportunity? So they're just in a discovery phase, if you will. But that's what they do. And they always do that. They don't stop exploring. They're always exploring.
Yes.
So if you want to put something in the comments, always be exploring. In fact, you could just put ABE, drop ABE in there. Always be exploring. All right.
And for the funding too.
Yes, and for the funding too. And I'm coming there. So they're exploring that opportunity. And while exploring the opportunity, it becomes clear to them it's going to take this in order to do that. So they also explore the opportunities for the this what is the this? The this is that carjack.
Mm-hmm.
It's that
The leverage.
It's that leverage that's going to help me to do this or take advantage of this opportunity. So they're exploring that too. Like I had to go in the trunk. Is there a jack in here? Is there a jack? Oh, yep, there's a jack in here, right? So I use the jack. I'm not the car jack, but I use the car jack in order to do what it was that I was trying to do. So they always be exploring ABE. That's right.
Yes.
So explore the opportunity, and they explore, or you could say look for leverage. I like the alliteration, look for leverage, the LL. So they look for leverage, but they're exploring that as well. While that's going on, at the same time, there's a second E that this savvy real estate investor is doing, and they're educating themselves. They're educating themselves. They're increasing their knowledge, and they ask questions. They get training. They don't just say, oh, there's an opportunity. Oh, let me, I explored and found that there's a jack, but they recognize they can't go into this thing lacking knowledge, no more that I could have that leverage, the car jack, see the opportunity to change out the tire. But if I don't know how to use the jack, all I'm going to do is blunder the opportunity.
Right.
So I have to educate myself. And this is what real estate investors do. They educate themselves. And this is often the part that sometimes gets forgotten, or either it gets discounted. Yeah. It's like, boom, there's an opportunity. Let me just jump out there. And that's high risk. Okay. That's not good, right? So we want to go in confidently. I have never met, out of all the real estate investors I've ever worked with and have helped, I have never, ever met one real estate investor investor who did not take serious self-education, acquiring the knowledge, because the last thing they wanted to do was go out there, blunder and blooper the opportunity. And what happens is they end up losing.
Instead of gaining.
Instead of gaining. And they end up losing a lot. So you don't want to lose big, you want to win big, right? So how do you do that?
Big energy.
You got to get the information. You got to educate yourself. Which then brings us to the third and last E, and that is the execute. Now, all of this makes up the savvy investor mindset, and execution is all about the doing. So when they're exploring the opportunity and exploring the opportunity for leverage, looking for the jack, and they have educated themselves, right? Now it's time to put it into action. And this really is where courage really is essential. Because it is possible to see an opportunity. It is possible to have an education about the opportunity, but still not move. So the exploring only took you so far. The education only took you so far. There has to be execution in order for it to yield and give you a gain and bring revenue into your business, right? So, if all we did was explore and educate and never execute it, and there's a lot of people who do that.
Yes.
A lot of Marriedpreneurs who do that.
Yes.
And while we do want to be lifelong students, we don't want to be lifelong students who never get in the game, who never jump onto the field. So this is not an opportunity for spectating. This is a call for participating. And so with that being said, I know that's right, Kim. So with that being said, when you think about this,
she said, help me, Lord.
When you think about this, you should ask yourself, where am I? Do I think like this? Have I been thinking like this? And here's what I want to say. The education piece really is the bridge between the exploring and the execution. With that being said, here's a wonderful opportunity and something that is amazing for you all. If you say to yourself, yes, that's me. We want to invest in real estate. It's something we've been talking about. It's something we've been thinking about, but we just don't quite know exactly how to approach this thing.
The funding piece
of
it.
And when you think about, Okay. And sometimes people self-disqualify by saying, yeah, there's something we want to do when we get $50,000 saved up. Or there's something we want to do when we get $200,000 saved up, or whatever the case may be. And that's the part where the education becomes the bridge to the execution, because educating yourself about the funding, being armed with the right information about the funding, about the jack, that's going to give you the leverage. You will discover that it's not as long of a process. It's actually a very short bridge between exploring the opportunity by exploring the funding. You're educating yourself, and you could look up, and many have looked up and realized, oh, we're in position now to actually execute. What I thought I needed, I didn't need, because I realized I have leverage, or there's leverage available to me. And it's like, it would be like me and my friend trying to change that tire. There's a jack in the trunk, but we never educated ourselves about the jack, never tried to use the jack. Never explored. And we thought to ourselves, how are we going to lift 2,000 pounds? Man, this is going to be really hard. And so what happens is, it's just like saying, all right, we'll just sit here and wait for somebody to come and help us.
Wow.
And what I'm saying is, you don't have to do
that.
Because
not when you have when you have a jack and
use other people's money. So you say to yourself, yep, that's me, want to go. Then just drop the word invest in the comments. Drop the word invest in the comments.
She said, educate me, please.
Because here's what's happened. I've already created a funding training download that I will give to you for free, that will arm you with the information of understanding how the funding piece works. I'm giving you the bridge to execution. And that's the educate component. All right, so drop invest in the comment section. That's right. And we will make sure that you have that.
I see you, invest. I see you. That's awesome. We hope that this has been helpful for you all, ultimately to encourage you not to just sit on the sidelines, but to truly take the next step as you explore, educate, and then, oh, you're so welcome. And then to execute. You are so welcome, fam. So, so we'll get that over to you. Those of you who have put invest in the comments, we'll send that training, that free audio training over to you, so you can get more insight on how to use other people's money based on where you are. Educate yourself on that, so then you can execute on that.
That's right.
I think that's it, right?
There it is.
All right, y'all have a good one. We got you. Have a good one.